So there's an old challenge, which is twofold. There's always two stories going on in the world. One is the ongoing drama of the world, and the other is the individual drama of human life. Those are the two stories. They're secretly connected. The more connected they are, the more the human understands the world. But so inside the dynamic of those two stories, one of the key questions become, do you know what story you're in? Do you know what myth you're in? So since we're now in a period where global issues are known, that most everyone knows there's a climate crisis. Most everyone knows there's a COVID crisis. I mean, I know there's people that don't believe that, but they're kind of in the story as not believers. They're not out of the story, they're in the story. And so, and most people know that there's a crisis of truth and meaning. And so, what story are you in when all of that is happening? What story are we in when we know we're in trouble together? And so there's an answer on the mythic level, and the simplest answer, or the most direct one, is the myth of apocalypse, which is another old Greek word, which doesn't mean the fiery end of everything. It actually has a couple of meanings. One meaning of apocalypse, or the Greek word is apocalypsis, is a lifting of the veil, which means things that are usually hidden are now seen. So that's a way to look at what's happening in the world, as many more radical things are out in the open. People say out in the open things that used to be said behind closed doors. So that's the lifting of the veil. But the greater meaning of apocalypse is, and there's many myths about it, but as a mythic theme, it means collapse renewal. So one way to understand what's going on now for all of us, because due to the scope of issues right now, which are global, and due to what you were mentioning about the internet, which is almost everybody knows what's going on, which wasn't always the case, people could realize that we are in this mythic dynamic of collapse and renewal. Now, most everybody knows we're in collapse. You can get people to just tell the story of how the health system is falling apart, that the distribution network is falling apart, the educational, collapse is all over the place. What most people don't know is the other half of the myth is renewal. It's collapse and renewal. And it isn't even collapse and then renewal. Secretly, renewal is happening at the same time as the collapse. So to me, that's a tremendous piece of knowledge. That is to say, each of us has the opportunity to figure out what part of renewal are we connected to. We're all witnesses of the collapse. You have to really hide nowadays not to know that things are falling apart. But then when you go back to the human story, each person is innately connected to an area of life where they have something meaningful to contribute. And so if we can figure out what that connection is, what we came to life to give, or what gifts we naturally have that make us more able to contribute to a renewal, all of a sudden, being alive at the time of collapse has a very positive counterpart, which is if I could follow my own genius, then I'm in a position in the midst of the collapse to contribute to the renewal that's also going to happen.
If you enjoyed this clip, the full episode will be made available up here somewhere, so feel free to check that out. If you're someone that's interested in working one-on-one with me and developing your practice of presence, reflecting on your life at the moment, and calibrating your trajectory, then feel free to head over to todaydreamer.com and get in touch. There's also a full catalogue of episodes available on the website, which pretty much are there to help you cultivate the practice of presence so that you can more deeply participate in the blossoming of the emergent world story. So there's episodes on rituals, meditation, different ways you can cultivate presence, find meaning in life, working with psychedelics, and a whole host of other things that, surround spirituality and surround this idea of coming back to this moment right here and right now, and deepening almost like your connection with yourself and with others through intimacy, relational practices. There's a whole host of episodes. Feel free to check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. Anyways, thank you for your attention and for sharing this moment with me in the here and now. And until next time, be well.